Hey, I'm Phoenix, and today I will be going over the SoS2-4031 KvK Stats and Matchmaking pool. So this KvK has a lot less alliances than the last one we did. So there are 8 alliances in this KvK, and there are currently only 2 dead alliances. These alliances have not defeated the Dragon and Home Realm, and these servers are server 124, who is QUE. They have no HK drag, and then there is server 215, who is HF. And they also have no Home Kingdom Dragon. So now looking at the alliances, there is server 435 VW, who is us. Then there's server 151 RGU, server 313, who is XSJ. Then server 285, who is UST. Server 9, who is INW4. And then lastly, server 449, who is EXGP. All these servers are decently active. So I wanted to start off this video by showing the very end of the Brink of War for this season. 435's activity was insanely high. We had double the amount of points for the Troll Day, and then we carried that lead all the way through. We finished with 319 million points, and then in second place was server 151, who is RGU. They got 205 million points, and then lastly server 285 UST with 178 million points. So Brink of War does a great job at showing alliance activity, and we did much better than the competition with over 100 million points more than the second place alliance. And now jumping into the stats. So quickly looking at the top players in each of the alliances, this shows the top 45 players. So this is server 435 VW. This is server 151 RGU. This is server 313 XSJ. This is server 124 KUE. This one has no Home Kingdom Dragon, and they share this one with 313. This is server 285 UST. This is server 9 INW4. They share their starting zone with server 215 HF with no Home Kingdom Dragon. And then there's server 449 EXGP. So now jumping into the alliance stats, we have server 435 VW. So our total power right now is 8.8 billion. We have 18.5 billion total kills. And we have 45 T5s and a total amount of players of 165. This is players that are above 15 million power. Server 151 RGU has 6.6 billion power, and they have a total of 11.9 billion kills. They have 47 T5s and 106 players above 15 million. Server 313 XSJ, they have 6.4 billion total power. They have 34 T5s and a total of 119 players. Server 124 K is here with no Home Kingdom Dragon. I'm just including these 2 kingdoms as well because they theoretically could as well help fight with their zone 1s. So they have 689 million power with 2 T5s and 16 players. Server 285 UST have 7.9 billion power, total of 25 T5s and 160 total players. Server 9 INW4 has 5.9 billion power, 41 T5s and a total of 104 players. And then server 215 is the other kingdom with no dragon. They have a total of 4 T5s and 54 total players. And then server EXGP, they have a total of 5.5 billion power, 47 T5s, and then 87 total players. So now looking at the zone 1s and the fights, so server 435, us, will be versing 449, and based off of stats, we have 8.8 billion power, and 449 has 5.5 billion power, so we should easily win this zone 1 battle. 151 and 313 are allied, so they probably won't have a battle here and probably will just split the region. Server 9 and server 285 will fight over their zone 1, and server 9 has 5.9 billion power, while server 285 UST has almost 8 billion power. So UST 285 should win this zone 1 here. And then for the statue fights, 435 will be versing 151. So statue fights, total player count really matters because you're only allowed to bring in 1 legion. So we'll be versing 151. We have 165 total players, while they have 106. So we should win all the statues for this zone 1 statue. 449 will be fighting server 9. So total players for 9 is 104, while in 449 they have 87. This one will be a lot closer as this is pretty close, and then their total power is pretty close as well. And then for 285 versus 313, UST has 160 players, which is second best, and then 313 has 119 players, so I'm seeing that 285 will probably win all their statues in this starting zone. So looking at the stats, some of the outliers are our total kills in VW, which is 18.5 billion, which is significantly higher than all the other kingdoms. This might show that our activity is probably better. But then I did notice that UST have 104 million deaths, and that is quite surprising, as all the other kingdoms have around 60 to 70 million deaths. So now looking at the players with high power in VW, we have 3 players that have 150 to 200 million power. In my past fights, I've noticed that players with this much power make a huge impact on battles, and this will definitely help us out as a lot of the other servers don't have any players in this range. So now looking at the allies. So us in 435, our activity is extremely high, and it's a lot higher than all the other alliances in this KvK. So 435, to get the most fighting this season, we decided to ally with server 9. So server 435 VW is with server 9 INW4, and I've also included server 215 here as well, just because they're in the same starting zone, which is HF. We have a total of 16 billion power, well 16.8 billion power, 90 T5s, and a total of 323 players with 15 million or more power. And then the other team is server 151 RGU, server 313 XSJ, server 285 UST, and then server 449, which is EXGP, and I've also included the server 124 QUE, which doesn't have the dragon. They have a total power of 27.3 billion. They have 155 T5s, and then 488 total players. So just looking at the stats, they have a lot more T5 players than us. They have 65 more T5s, which is a huge difference. And then they also have over 100 more players than us, which is also a large difference. However, VW's insane activity should make up for this, and it should be a pretty exciting fight. So now I will walk through how this map works on the perspective of 435 starting zone. So we start here, and then when pass 1 opens, we will be reversing 449 for this zone 2. Then when pass 3 opens, we will be reversing server 151 for this zone 3. And then the next pass opening is pass 5, which allows us to access the zone 3 of 449. Pass 6 allows us to access the zone 3 also of 313 or 449, but at a different angle. And then pass 7 allows us entry into the dragon zone. So all these alliances should have no problem making it to the dragon zone, except for maybe 449 or server 9, depending on how things play out. So as I explained earlier, server 9 will probably not win this 1v1 against 285, so then they will be forced to go through this pass 3 into this region. However, 285 will probably enter this pass 5 here and then help 449 fight off server 9, but I'm sure in 435 will help them secure their entry into Dragon Zone, and if we do that, in that case, server 449 will definitely have a hard time getting into Dragon Zone. So I see Dragon Zone being right now a 2v3, and I have a strong feeling we'll win this fight, as SoS2-4031's activity is really good right now, as we had a really good migration. And I'm definitely excited to see how this one plays out. Last season I said I was going to record a lot. Yeah, that didn't really happen. So this season I will be streaming all of the pass openings. This way I'll be able to upload some content without having to edit things down. This will save me a lot of time, as when I'm playing this game I would rather play the game rather than edit. So I will definitely be live streaming in the future, so look out for those, and leave a like on this video. Thanks, bye.